So we have to recognize the problem. The problem is life is selling us fulfillment, but it ain't delivering. You know, you get a new relationship. It's wonderful for a little while. She's beautiful or he's gorgeous. And you're having fun. You're having a great time. You go through this honeymoon phase. And then eventually it starts to flatline because the law of diminishing returns. Everything in life is the law of diminishing returns. It doesn't mean that it doesn't land into a wonderful place and it might be a great relationship, but things change. And this kind of pedestal that we put all these things on, eventually they have to come off the pedestal. And then we look for something else. We go out and we search for a new car, right? Or we want to move to a new place. Now it's great. Get the car, move to the new place. But know that what you're doing fundamentally is an inside job. You're working at life from the inside out, not from the outside in. Because if we don't see this, if we don't recognize this pattern that we're taught, that society is telling us, that mostly everybody subscribes to some degree, that basically whatever I get outside of me will make me a better person, will fulfill me, will give me that sense of belonging and connection that I'm looking for. Don't hate the messenger, but what I'm saying here is it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I still live life. I fully go through life. I love living a very full life with great connections, and I have a nice home, and I like this kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with these things, but I learned through falling on my face many times, mostly through heartbreak, that if I don't give attention inwardly and I don't nurture that simultaneously with whatever else I'm doing, then I'm going to live this quiet, sad, internal, kind of chaotic life. And it might look great on the outside. I might have all kinds of great things going on. But if I don't feel that inner contentment and peace, and you got to ask yourself this, do you feel that inner contentment and peace? You might be very successful, or you might not be. If you are successful, great, because now you realize that success didn't actually do it for you. If you're not successful in the eyes of the world, then you might think that success will. So it is a process of exhaustion on that point. Like we have to sort of pursue certain things to realize that they don't actually give us what we're looking for. But what I'm also saying here is that we can kind of leapfrog that process. We can kind of thought experiment it and jump ahead in our imagination and think, okay, if I get that new thing, aren't I still going to be there? Isn't my inner world still going to be functioning from the same paradigm? Because the trap is that no, it won't. Like all of a sudden I'll get this and I'll be happy again. But the problem fundamentally is that we don't feel okay inside right here as we are. And that's why we feel this loneliness, because we think that we're going to get it from something else. We're not looking in the right place. It's like you're a bucket. We've probably all heard this metaphor. And you fill things up in that bucket. You put in your car, you put in your family, you put in your relationships, you put in your career, you put in your new toys, you put in your good looks, you put in whatever. There's holes in the bottom of that bucket. It's draining, it's draining, and it's draining. And as you get older, life becomes slightly less forgiving, and those holes in the bottom of the bucket, they get bigger, and it starts to drain faster and faster. But there's a solution here. If we just realize that a big part of our attention should go inside to inside ourselves, and I'm going to talk about how to do that, then we start to plug those holes in the bottom of that bucket. We start to realize that, oh, okay, like I actually need to put a lot less in that bucket now because it's not draining out the bottom all the time. So we have to recognize the problem. We have to see the issue here. And it is a process of exhaustion for most of us, but we can speed this process up if we recognize the nature of the beast. Life is not out to get us. It's not out to hurt us. But if we're not smart about it, we're going to get caught in the show. We're going to get caught in the fireworks. We're going to get caught in the flashiness. And we're going to think that that vibrancy outside of us is actually what's going to give us a vibrancy inside of us. And it's not. It's just not. Now, some of you might say or think this is not so black and white, right? And it's not. It's not. Everything is nuanced here. Of course, certain things that I pursue are going to make me expand and grow and feel great. I'm not here to say that we should just sit in a cave or, be on the sidelines of life. Not at all. But if we don't take moments for ourselves, if we don't have some part of solitude in our life, and it could be small, it could be big, depending on your nature, if we don't have some sense of connecting to ourselves, then we're going to miss out big time on the capacity of what we can experience here. So how do I do it? Now, I'm not the only guy talking about this, but the way that works for me is honestly, I think the same way that would work for everybody, but they take different forms in how they do it. But for me, like, I literally hold my heart. I literally touch my heart when I need to. I do it every morning when I wake up. I do it every night before I go to bed. I do it for 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I do it for hours. Now, that's just a very direct way. When I was really lonely, when I was dealing with serious heartbreak on multiple times in my life, that was the only thing that actually helped. Now, I'm in a much more sustainable, grounded place. I just get it through nature. I get it through connections with other people. I get it through spending time with myself, even if I'm in communion with others, because I'm always have part of my attention within myself. And it's about not reacting to life. It's about responding to life. This is a very complex, it's very simple, but it comes with all kinds of different forms and shapes and things that need to sort of fall away from us. So that way we can notice this deeper and deeper. Because the essence of what we're doing here, the essence of solving this loneliness problem, is just this inner belonging within ourselves. And this is free. This is inherent in all moments, all situations. There's no part of life where this cannot be applied. However, when we're learning and when we're training, then we kind of need to take time for ourselves that's more separate from that. Sit on a bench, have time at home, meditate, pray, do whatever it is you do. Be in nature, get on your dirt bike and go through the mountains. You got to do whatever works for you. And you have to find those things out for yourself, but you do it with the knowing that here I am connecting to myself because this is the interface to my experience. If I don't meet myself deeply, I can't meet life deeply. If I don't know myself, I can't know others. We can only meet life in the same way that we've really met ourselves. And if we don't know this, then we're going to keep hitting our head against the wall and keep getting disappointed. We're going to end up jaded. We're going to end up bitter. We're going to end up this quiet life of desperation, or not a quiet life, a very noisy, life where we're hurting a lot of people. And we can spend our whole life going through this and deepening this. So this is not like, oh, I just figured this out. And no, this is a constant evolution. This is a constant becoming. You're touching into your own heart. You're finding out that you are made of love. Like, there's better words, because love is such a, so many associations, but like, we can get into love on another video. What is love? But like, it's this kind of sense of union, this sense of connection to yourself, and with that, all other beings and all other things, and plants and animals, and just life and the clouds and the ground. Like, there is not the same sense of division that we normally think there is. We are not these separate entities walking around in reality. The truth is that we're actually merged on levels that we don't normally sense, but they are happening. Just because we don't know what's going on doesn't mean it's not affecting us. And the way that we bring that together, the way that we bring that closer to us in our individual experience, is we learn how to touch our heart. We learn how to touch our inner sense of compassion and love and forgiveness for ourselves, how we And then that goes into everybody else. That goes into the life that we have. So we have to hit this home within ourselves. We have to really understand what's going on here. And what's going on is not what we're normally taught. So we have to recognize that problem and know that the solution is very simple. It's here right now. It's here in every situation. It's totally free. And it just requires taking a moment. And taking a moment 100 times a day, 1,000 times a day. Eventually that moment is just the one moment through all your experience. But we kind of have to like create this habit. We have to recognize that we're not doing it. And then we have to bring it in. And believe me, things come out of this. So many amazing things come out of this. Life will notice this and support you in this. And while this video started with life not being outside of you and you don't want to fulfill yourself outside of you, yes, that's true fundamentally, but life will start to give from this because it knows that now you're receiving it in the way that is meant to be, because life is actually on your side. It's just that we have the paradigm wrong. The way we look at life is that it's going to fix us, but no, life will feed us if we're not trying to find our life source in it. And then it will just like add cream to the cake, and then it's this wonderful, wonderful thing. But until then, we feel this disconnect, we feel this darkness, we feel this isolation, this loneliness. Like I used to sit by the river and just hold my heart for hours because I felt so alone, because I invested my love outside of me. And then it failed me. So do I still love others? 100%. I love them more deeply than I ever did before. Unconditionally for the most part. But now I know that what makes that possible is because I've touched myself there. I've touched my own heart. I've been there and I've stayed there and I know it. And yeah, if I get some new stuff, if life, I still love, I love going through life. Life is wonderful. But it's coming now from a place of just, oh, okay, great. It's not a roller coaster. It's just like a quiet contentment. And ironically, even more connection comes now and more fruits come. But if I didn't go there, if I didn't continue to go there, then I'd probably be back where I was many, many years ago, where I was just disconnected from myself. So give it to yourself. Give it to yourself if you haven't already. And if you're giving it to yourself, give it to yourself more. This channel is called Do As You Say. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, hey, this is possible. If it makes sense to you, do it for your own reasons. That's it. No one's the authority here except you. But there are ways to live that are better than other ways. And if something's not going well for us, if we're feeling this disconnect, then we gotta look. We gotta look for another way. So find it in yourself. It's real, real simple. Don't overcomplicate it. It's nothing fancy, but you gotta do it. And it requires a lot of taking away the things that stop you from doing it. So this can be a deep process. Well, it is a deep process. But give it to yourself.